to put you guys into perspective, there's so many things that we need to check as VTubers. We have a lot of projects, a lot of them that requires illustrations. And when it comes to illustrations, they want to make sure that they capture our character essence properly. So that's one. We need to look at like a bunch of illustrations and make sure that there's no IP defects and that it actually portrays our character. One. Two, we have a lot of recordings. It could be voice packs, it could be songs, it could be performances, it could be covers, it could be original songs, whatever it may be. And every single one has deadlines. Three, we have our own personal projects, or like whenever it's like 6 months before, like, let's say a birthday or an anniversary, we need to prepare something. So we gotta do proposals, whatnot. That's 3. It's basically that, but also at the same time, we have like a bunch of schedules. We have meetings also that we need to participate in. There's a lot of work that goes behind VTubing, whether you guys believe it or not. And not to mention, for me personally, this is me personally, okay? Like, to be honest, no one asked me to do this. Not management, not you guys. This is just a me thing. But whenever there's something HoloLive related that requires a little bit of grinding, like a HoloLive game, I need to do it. For example, HoloCure. When it came out, grinded the fuck out of it because I wanted to like impress you guys. And I want to like make sure that my streams are like well prepared. So like you guys don't have to see the grind. You guys just see the results. Same goes to Holodori. Usually what I would do is that I would just do a bunch of like missions and achievements. I would collect the gems and then we could just do the gacha on stream. And then again, there's also streams. That's also like a part of the VTubing job. That's basically the whole shebang. When it comes to like streams, we have to come up with our own titles. We gotta make sure that we have permissions to do what we're going to do. We have to make thumbnails. We have to promote it by ourselves. It's just a lot of preparations, a lot of prep. That's why it gets a little bit busy. And that's why, like, some of us, we would give, like, very late information when it comes to, like, waiting rooms for streams. Because there's just so many things to do. And, like, having to tweet it out. There's a reason why I abandoned my Instagram and Facebook page. I can't handle all that. I can only handle Twitter. That's why I'm only active here now. Gak bayar editor aja, Li. Bayar editor buat apa? Pekerjaan semua yang tadi Ollie sebutkan itu hanya bisa dilakukan oleh para talent. Editor disuruh bikinin tweet, sama bikin title, sama bikin thumbnail setiap kali Ollie mau streaming. Gimana kalau Ollie tiba-tiba streamingnya pengen dadakan? Gak bisa dong. If you don't have fixated work hour, does it count as overtime? Here's a different question then. If I don't have a fixated work hour, does that mean it's always overtime? This is what I think, okay? Like, a lot of people would think, oh, then you must be super busy at Fest. If you were to ask me if we were super busy, yes, we were. But if you compare it to the things that we do on a normal basis, I would say that it's not as busy. Why? When it comes to Fest, we just come by, we practice our dancing, and then we perform on stage, and that's about it. We only need to do one set of job, which is practicing our singing, practicing our dancing, do MC, perform, voila. It's just like one set of activities. It's not like a bunch of activities that we gotta do. And when it comes to Fest, everybody basically has like a get out of jail free card. It's like basically we have an excuse of not working on other projects because we have to focus on our performance. Which is why if you were to ask me, does that mean that Fest is like really brutal? Well, I wouldn't say very brutal because I literally only focus on Fest. It's a one set and go, not like regular work. So I think it's not as tiring. To me, I think Fest is pretty enjoyable. It's like one of the best times of the year for me. I only need to focus on one thing, and sometimes we even get like free days. Like for example, we have a bunch of stages for Fest, right? And we don't always perform in each stage. We are assigned to a certain stage. Meaning that if there's a day where I don't have to perform, I get to do whatever I want. And that's so fun. Also, you get to see everyone. Yeah, so it's fun. I see Fest more like a yearly school field trip where you kind of do have to do something, but you mostly are there to have fun. Not sure if you answered this before, but what do you usually do on those break times during practice? Eat, play games, nap? Believe it or not, we don't do anything. We just catch our breath, drink, and if it's time for lunch or dinner, we just eat. Like maybe we'd fiddle with our phones a little bit, but we literally just rest. after practice. We get tired from practice, guys. And sometimes our practice sessions are limited. Like, we don't have the luxury of time. The practice sessions that we get are very, very, very limited that we can't really afford to actually rest. We can't actually afford to actually fiddle with our phones or play games. If anything, when we rest, we try to memorize the dance again, but we just don't do it while actually dancing. People think VTubing is easy if you're in an agency. People think once you enter corporate, like something as big as Hololive, you don't need to do anything. They think once you're in Hololive, you only need to be pretty. You only need to like stream, and sometimes the streams would be determined by management. They think every single thing that we do, management does it for us. It's actually insane. There are actual people out there that thinks that, if I get into Hololive, my life is perfect. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to make thumbnails. I don't need to think about content. I don't need to think about how to make songs or like practices or everything, because they're going to like handle everything for me. They could not be further away from the truth. I actually met so many people who thought that way, and I'm like, no, that's not how it goes. Oh, you sweet summer child. You go through an audition so that you work. You thought management will do everything for you? I remember there's this one girl, she was like, oh my god, if I were in Hololive, everything would be so much easier. They would determine all of my streams, they would make my schedules, and it'd be so nice. I don't have to think, because thinking is like the hardest thing, and having to come up with content for my channel is like the hardest thing ever for me. And I'm like, girl. But like, that sounds too good to be true. If there ever was a corporate like that, guys, literally run. Literally block them. If there was ever a corporate that says, oh, you guys don't need to do anything. We'll make your dreams come true. Come, we will make the schedules, the streams, the thumbnails, the projects, the original songs all for free. Run. That is not real. Do not get baited. Because even Hololive isn't like that, okay? It's a scam. What would be the point of streaming if someone else determines everything anyways? That's true. How does that build your character? VTuber is a tough career as any indie or corpo. Like, why did you guys think that there's so many corporates out there with like so many people graduating off of it? Like, you would see all of these VTuber companies, right? Like these VTuber corporates. Like, you would see them in Twitter, whatnot, making auditions, whatnot. And like, not a few months later, then suddenly there would be like a VTuber graduating or signing off. It's usually after people realize that it's not all rainbows and sunshine, and that their rose-tinted glasses were the ones that made it look like corporate is the best thing ever. By the way, I'm not saying that corporate is bad, okay? I am very grateful to be in Hololive. Hololive has given me so many opportunities and chances to actually be out there. Like, heck, Hololive made a game in Hololive, and I'm also a part of it, which is super cool. Hololive is great, but like, if you think that by joining Hololive, you don't have to do anything and Hololive will do everything for you, you gotta remember that Hololive is a corporate and not charity. And people who can't actually differentiate between the two can never get into Hololive.
Aku tidak akan pernah menyerah padamu, aku tidak akan pernah mengecewakanmu, aku tidak akan pernah lari dan meninggalkanmu, aku tidak akan pernah membuatmu menangis, aku tidak akan pernah membuat semua tinggal, aku tidak akan pernah membohong dan menyakitimu.